time. This is Uncle P from Super Easy Forex. Hold on one second. I hope you guys are having a great day, and wanted to cover this topic. This is a pretty popular topic. Which one is better? Should I be a scalper, a day trader, or a swing trader? Which one is more profitable and stuff like that? I kind of covered this video a little while back, but I want to kind of revisit this since this question is a constant in the minds of people. So we're going to cover each one of these steps. But before we do that, I just want to remind you guys, or let you know rather, that on Friday, we're going to have a Black Friday sale on all of our trading systems. And so make sure to look forward to that. And especially the Simplicity system, our main trading system. What's cool about it is because it comes with free lifetime classes with me every week. I'm always doing classes every week, and it doesn't cost any extra thing. Just buy the same trading system. So when we're going through the classes, you'll be able to see the same setups that I'm showing or that we discuss in class, because you'll have the same trading system. So just get the trading system, and the classes are free. Okay, so on Black Friday, we're going to be slashing prices so that you guys can get in. Okay, all right, now let's get to the topic at hand. So which one is a better strategy? Should I be a scalper? Should I be a swing trader? Should I be a day trader? All right, that's a very legitimate question, because each one of them has their pros and their cons. Each one of them has some merit. And so we're going to go, better yet, instead of me saying, here's this one or here's that one, why don't I go through each one of these, and then you make a choice at the end of the day to find out which one would be a better fit for you. Also, I want to say up front, it's not bad to have a little dib and dab in both of them, and I'll talk about that towards the middle or the end of this conversation. So let's start with being what most people come to the Forex market doing, which is being a scalper. Now, I'm going to start with this one because typically when people come to the markets, they oftentimes start off trying to be scalpers. Why? Because it promises a fast returns on your investment or quick rewards, okay? So if I was talking to people who are in the stock market, they automatically know this wouldn't even be a topic of conversation, because typically if you're trading stocks, you know that you should be holding them for a little while before you can cash out on profit margins. Okay, even if you're trading options in the stock market, you know you're still going to hold it for a few days, maybe to a week. Is typical, and then you can cash out. All right, but in the Forex market, it's its own arena, and so most people who come to the Forex market, they have different concepts, but they all typically fall under a funnel, which trickles down to, I need some quick money now. So therefore their focus comes in with the concept of being a scalper, meaning I want my money within the next 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so we're going to start with that one, and I'm going to go over the pros and cons of that, and then we're going to move into day trading, and then we're going to move into scalpers at hand. Okay, so here we go. In my opinion, I really believe that scalping is a great method of trading. I have nothing against it, except for one big thing. Most of the people, if you look statistically in the Forex market, which is again a whole different category altogether from any other trading vehicle out there of mindset, okay? Whether I'm talking about real estate, entrepreneurs in the restaurants, stock market, options, whatever else, Forex has created its own entity of scalping mentality. And because of that, most people who come into the Forex market really don't have a clue what they're really doing. And so if you look statistically at the number of successful traders in the Forex market exclusively, you'll see that the majority of the people fail in Forex. Well, why is that? Because most of them come in with the mentality of quick profits within minutes, and they don't really understand market structure. Now, when I say market structure, a lot of people say, well, I do know market structure. I got my support and resistance. I have my trend lines. That's not the structure I'm talking about. I'm talking about how the structure of the market itself and how it functions, okay, as a whole, not per price action. So what I mean is oftentimes you have to know and understand what session you're trading in, for an example. Because I'll give you a prime example. If you're trading in the Asian session, there is a period of time, and I have it almost down to the exact moment that it happens. I'm still working on that, but it's a more calm session. So if you wanted to, and I'm just giving you a little slight bit of advice, if you wanted to really be a good scalper, and you didn't know what you were doing, then I would suggest the Asian session would be better, because it's less action happening. It's much slower, okay? But If you go to like the London session or the US session, there's much more news events, much more market participation. So the market moves much faster. And because of that quick movement, it can jump up and down real quick, which is rare. Watch this. Most scalpers want to trade during the high speed sessions because they want the high speed money. Problem is, if you don't know the macro or the larger picture of what's going on in the markets, and you try to jump in on the smaller time frame, and you don't understand what's going on or what news events just took place or whatever, you're going to find yourself struggling because you're getting stopped out very quickly because you're using very tight stop losses to try to make big profits, and you don't understand what's going on with the markets. Just even the speed of the markets, the speed of each session has its own speed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So therefore, when you're participating as a scalper, you have to know when the markets are typically going to do stop hunts and spikes and stuff like that, and when it's typically going to move mellow. Because you don't even get this is why, and again, you can look this up for yourself. I'm just giving my personal perspective. I haven't been in this industry for years. These little small nuances, these things that you don't understand, is part of the reason why I think the last number was 85 to 90% of all Forex traders fail in the business. How is that possible? How is that possible? Well, because they all fall under the same category and they keep learning the same things from the same group of people, and therefore they keep jumping in at the wrong time with the right strategy sometimes, but at the wrong time. And because you're using such tight stop losses, because you're scalping, you're getting hit. Number two, here's another problem with it. Most traders who's trading this, just think about this, and I just want to make sure this is making sense to you. If you're going to be a scalper, there's a danger to that, okay? And unless you're trained by a professional, then you're not, these little small things add up as to why you're not making success in it. So for an example, think of it like this. If you're trading, you're trying to get 10 pips out of a trade, okay? You're trying to scalp to get 10 pips, but you just jumped into a pair that has a 3 to 4 pip spread. See, a lot of Forex traders never even look at the spread. The spread is how much the broker is charging you to take the trade, and they charge by pips, okay? So therefore, sometimes you can instantly enter a trade and you're already down by 3 to 4 pips, but you are only trying to get 10 pips out of it. So by the time it pulls back even a little bit, it's already close or just hit your stop loss before actually dropping down. So if you're not aware of the pairs that you're trading and what their spread is, see, all these little small micro nuances you have to pay attention to because you're trading on such a smaller time frame. And so therefore, all these little smaller things that if you're on a bigger time frame, they wouldn't even be a decision. It's not even a question about it because it's such a small, if I'm going for 50 or 60 pips and the broker's charging me 3 or 4 pips on my spread, I don't really care. But when you're going for 7, 10 pips, you know what I mean? And the broker's already charging you 4, that means that the price action only need to move around 6 pips to be able to knock you out of your trade. So you have to be very, very careful and trained by a professional. Now, I'm going to slant and towards Miss Jenny, who's in our signals group, because she's a professional trader. She's the only scalper I've known after all these years who have done it successfully for years, and I've been able to witness it. I don't even protest to know it personally myself. I can do it, but it's not my forte. Okay, trading off the 1 minute and 5 minute time frames. I used to trade binary options. As a matter of fact, I used to run a binary options group, which we used to trade on 30-second marks. Okay, 30-second moves. So I do understand it, but I don't like it. So I never refer to myself as the person who you should learn how to scalp from. Why? Because doesn't fit my personality. Because I don't want to think about all these different things and keep myself on edge. Miss Jenny is a beast at it. She's been doing it for years, and that's her thing. So again, just go to Miss Jenny, who's in our scalping group, and she'll teach you how to. And she actually uses a whole different trading system, which is another thing. You have to use a specific type of trading system to be able to monitor that, so that you can kind of see the charts differently when you're trading in as a scalper. So again, let me be clear. Can you make a lot of money? Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes, you can. That's a good thing. But is there more dangers that you have to worry about? Yes, there is. Okay? So there's pros and cons to it. Yes, you can make a lot of quick money very, very fast, but you have to think about more other outside entities that will interfere with your trade, such as broker spread, time of the day when you're taking a trade, is there news events? Because for an example, let me go over news events. Here's a good example. On a typical, if you're trading off the 1 hour time frame or the 4 hour time frame and a news event comes out, yes, it tends to blip. And some of you guys who've been trading for a long time, you know this. It'll shoot up and shoot down, and then it just settles out, and that's fine. So if you had a comfortable stop loss on the 1 hour, 4 hour time frame, you really don't care, as long as it wasn't that astronomical of a news event. It typically would just do a little quick blip, knee-jerk reaction, and then it just resumes its pattern. However, that little blip or knee-jerk reaction on a shorter time frame, such as the 1 minute and 5 minute, remember, if you opened the trade on a pair that already the broker was charging you 3 to 4 pips, you only have a 6 pip gap before it hits your 10 pip stop loss. You don't have a lot of room. So as soon as that news came out and it blipped, it pushed it up by 8 pips. You already got knocked out. Why? You only had 6 pips to spare. So these things, you really have to think about it, which and I have found that most scalpers who enter the market don't think about these things. And because they don't think about these simple things, that's the reason why you have such a high astronomical number of Forex traders who fail in the business. And again, you don't have to take my word for it. Go look these numbers up for yourself, and you'll see that in the Forex industry, a ton of people are failing in the Forex industry and they don't make money. But this is part of the reason why. Okay, because they don't want to be trained. They just want to hop in with a quick strategy and think they know what they got, and they keep blowing their accounts week after week, not even because their price action or their strategy or indicators were wrong. It's because of the things that had nothing to do with those things they never consider, and they're not getting professionally trained. Okay, so that's my scope on it. I really think that, yes, scalping is an absolute beast of a way of making a lot of money really, really fast, but I think you need to get trained. Here's one more thing on scalping. I also know that people who are in the scalping industry who are not professionally trained, what happens is you overtrade. So by the end of the week, you've worn yourself out emotionally and your eyeballs are tired from looking at the charts. And then when you look at how much money you actually made, now there may be some one-offs. So if you're the one-off, please don't blow me up. I don't want to hear your comment, because you and I both know the truth that most people do not. If you are the successful one, most people can't do what you do. Okay, that's why they're coming to you or coming to Miss Jenny, whatever. You know that, and I know that. So don't leave negative comments. Okay, tell the truth. Tell the people the truth. Okay, so the truth of the matter is, most scalpers, because they want the fast money, they're jumping in and out so fast, they overtrade. They take 50 times more trades than the average day trader or swing trader. They're overtrading. So what also is happening, even if you win some of those trades, remember what I said. Listen to what I'm saying. This is your uncle. I'm not trying to promote me. I don't scalp. Okay, Miss Jenny does. I don't. So I'm not trying to push to join Uncle P a scalper. I'm not a scalper. But I'm telling you the truth. So here's the truth. Here's the truth. Think about numbers wise. If you won a trade for 10 pips, and then you jump back in another trade, and you jump back in another trade, and you jump back in another trade. Some of those trades will win, some will lose. But here's the problem. The broker spread, every time you open a trade, they're charging some pairs 3 to 4 pips, especially if you like the fast moving pairs like the GBP, NZD, and stuff like that. Okay, they charge 3 to 4 pips. And you were only going for 10. So that's the reason why if it spikes a little bit, you're going to get it knocked out, but then you jump it back in, So you're doing a constant back and forth with the market. But then when you look at your overall pip total, you kind of say, well, what happened to my pip money? Well, because you kept paying tips to your broker to open the trade. So every time you didn't win the trade, a lot of that not only went to the broker, but then also to your stop losses. So they don't consider this. So they're taking 15 to 20 and 30 trades within the trade period, which is astronomically out of order. A professional trader will jump in, get 2 or 3 pips, 2 or 3 trades a day, and they're done. They know how to stop. So scalpers, they have another problem that they have to deal with. It's what I call market addiction. They get so addicted to the market until they don't know how to stop. Even if they win their 2 or 3 trades and say, okay, I'm done for today, because it happened so fast, they say, well, let me go for one more. And that's when they get lost. And then they lose that trade. Now they got to get another trade to win that one back. They lose that one. And now they become an emotional trader. And now at the end of the week, they're worn out and have nothing to show for it. So again, it has to do with the things that you're not being taught about trading that is going to affect you as a scalper. So again, here's my final statement on it. Can you be a professional? Can you make a lot of money in scalping? Yes, absolutely. Remember, I used to trade binary options, and those were happening in 30-second, and 1-minute instruments. Quick, fast money. Scalping is no different. The thing is, you just have to be a professional at it and you need training, please go see Ms. Jenny in the scalping group. I am not the professional at that. So therefore, I'm not going to be the person who you can refer to when it comes to being a scalper. I have scalped before. I know how to do it, but I just don't like it because I know me. I know me. It doesn't fit my personality, and the very thing that I'm warning you guys about as far as being a market addict, it will happen to me again, because it used to happen to me. That's why I stopped. I'm like, man, I'm doing 10, 20 trades a day. Why? Because the fast-paced money, and I wasn't being a professional at it. So that's why I don't refer to myself to do it. And I'm just being honest. Again, I know a lot of people on YouTube won't be honest, but hey, I ain't got nothing to lie about. I just know that's just not a good fit for me. Okay? So once you understand the parameters, then absolutely, yeah, I think it's great. I think it's wonderful to make a lot of good money. Okay? All right, let's move on to a day trader. Okay? Let's move on to a day trader. And by the way, if you like the comments, please just let me know, what you think, what your thoughts are. I'm not saying I'm correct. I'm just sharing my opinion. Okay, so leave your comment and let me know what you think. Okay. All right, let's move on to a day trader. What's up with a day trader? Being a day trader, I think it's fabulous because it kind of sits in between being the scalper and trying to cash out the same day, and also, but you're not so deep into the long-term hold. Okay, so it's kind of like, if you like faster money, but you don't want it that fast to put yourself in such jeopardy, and you would prefer to go for like 20 pips, 25 pips a day or something like that, 30 pips a day, I think it's wonderful. I really honestly think it's a wonderful gig. The truth of the matter is, though, you're going to have conflict in your head, because if you came in trying to be a scalper and now you move over to a day trader, most times what I find is the issue with traders is the whole time, because now you are used to, you trained your brain to say, okay, we're going to hold this trade for about 10 minutes and we're going to try to, scalper's mentality. So when they try to transition out from being the scalper's mentality into the day trader, which means you're probably going to hold the trade for at least a couple of hours, it's kind of difficult, because now you're constantly on your phone, staring at your phone every few minutes. You're at work, staring at your phone, staring at your phone, staring at your phone. And so the trickle effect of what your mentality was when you were a scalper is affecting your mentality as a day trader. Okay? And so therefore you're looking for day trade patience with a scalper's mentality, and it creates conflict not on the charts but in your head. And therefore trading has just become a deficit to you, and not because of the charts. And notice what I'm saying, a lot of this has nothing to do with the charts or the trading style. It has to do with the personality. And until you correct your personality, you're going to struggle. And I'm just being honest. So you got to be willing to fix your personality. Okay, that's why for me, I like brand new traders who have never traded before, because they starting with a clean slate and they come in, they learn what they need to learn, they pick up their own style and they move on. So I think that being a day trader is perfectly nice. You only holding the trade for maybe a couple hours or maybe a day or two, and then you're pretty much done, depending on market conditions. Like for an example, let me give an example. The Euro USD last week, I have never, in all my years trading, I have never saw it sit still in one place and didn't move almost for the entire week until Friday. And when Friday hit, it did exactly what we anticipated it was going to do, which, by the way, thank you, Mr. Elvis, Miss Jenny, and for the signals. We were 11-3, but technically we were actually 11. We was actually not even 3, because the GBP JPY that we lost and the Euro USD that we lost went right back in and won those, so that negated those losses. So we only really had one, and even that one on the USD JPY wasn't a loss. We actually just closed it out before a news event, and so we were down by a few pips or something, but so just for reporting sake, I recounted it. But technically we didn't really have any losses last week. But I thank you guys, because you're good at what you do. Mr. Elvis is not a scalper. He is a day trader and a swing trader. Ms. Jenny is a scalper. So you see how they're talented individuals in their rights, but they don't crossbreed, trying to do what that's not a good fit for them. Are you guys, I hope this is making sense. So going back to the Euro USD, that's the longest I've ever seen it sitting in one place doing sideways movement, almost for the entire week before drop. However, on a normal basis, usually you're holding the trade for a couple hours to a day or two. okay? And then you're out of the trade, you're good. Now, why is that beneficial? Because a lot of people are still working full time, and therefore you don't want to sit there staring at your charts all day, and you don't want to be nervous. So you place your trade, use a comfortable stop loss, and then you get in, you're out, you get your pips, and you're done, okay? So it kind of nestles between not having to hold it very long, but still not too short of a time where you're scared of getting stopped out over little blips in the market. So it plays comfortably. I think if I was to suggest to people who wanted to start in the markets, what should you do? I would suggest starting as a day trader. I honestly would say start as a day trader. Well, what's a good time frame for a day trader? I would say start with the 15-minute or 30-minute time frame. Okay, 15-minute, 30-minute would be good. Now, remember, use my two-step method that I've been talking about this whole time. Go to your higher time frame, get in on the lower time frame. It's literally that simple. Look at the higher time frame to get the scope of the picture, the trend direction, whatever, and then jump in on the lower time frame to be able to do your thing. Okay, simple as that. Don't make it more complicated than that. Okay, so I think day trading is perfect. Now let's scoot over to being a swing trader, which is more of my territory. Day trading and swing trading is more of my territory, okay? Holding the trade anywhere from a day, couple of hours. Somebody saying, no, I don't do all that. Again, I show live trades here on YouTube. So, you know, if you're looking for that, go to somebody else's channel. I don't do all that stuff. I'm a grown man and I pay bills, okay? So for those who, he was asking about showing my FX book. I told you guys a long time ago, I don't get into all that. Again, I show live trades. As a matter of fact, I recorded some here. And I also sent a shout out about the gold trade. I warned everybody in my group about the gold trade. And sure enough, everybody should have cashed out on that one. Okay. So again, I know some people do that because they're trying to prove to their critics. Me, I'm a grown man. I got bills to pay. I'm not into all that kind of stuff. I'm here to teach you guys. So again, I appreciate the question, but that's just, if that's what you're looking for, there are other people who can do that. But me, I prefer to do live videos showing live trades before I close them out so you can see the setup and I can actually explain the trade. Let me say this, and I got sidetracked and I'll get back on point. One of the other reasons why I'm not into, and I'm listening very carefully to what I'm saying, and then I'll get to swing trading. One of the other reasons why you may not want to put so much weight on the person showing their FX book is because you didn't see the work that they did to get it. Let me be clear. Have you ever went to school, when you were in school and the teacher did algebra work? One of the things they always said, don't just give me the answer. What did they used to do? Show me the work. Do y'all remember that? They wanted you to show the scratch paper or on paper how you broke down and found the answer. So when you're looking at a person's My FX book, and I know this is kind of sidetracked, I'm sorry. This is why I try not to read comments while I'm talking so I can stay on point, but this is a good one. One of the things that I found is that a person could be taking signals from us, okay? They could be getting our signals, placing the trades, and so they're showing an increase in their My FX book, but you didn't see how they got it. So they may not be getting the work at all. They may be outsourcing or getting signals from us. They may be one of our clients who's getting signals. They place the trades, they get the profits from our signals, and then they show you guys the work and sell you their system. See, I don't get into all that. Me, if my showing live proof on YouTube, live videos of live trades that I'm in is not good enough for people, then I don't worry about it. So be very careful and skeptical of that. And I know this was part of the class, but I just read that comment, so I want to address it. That's really why I'm not that big into believing people who show a portfolio of growth, because it doesn't show me the work. Can you show me setups that you took personally and how it made sense to you in order for me to follow your work? Because again, by the time I sign up with you, if that was all it was, which happens a lot in this scamish environment, a lot of people will sell things that they're really not even using because it's just profitable to sell stuff. That's what they want to do. Me, I prefer to show you live on YouTube channels. And I've been at this for a couple of years now, where I show live videos of live trades so that you guys can authenticate and go back to your own charts. And this is one of the things I say, and let me wrap up this video, go back to swing traders. But let me say this is very important. The reason why I do live videos is because I also mentioned the date that I'm showing you. Almost every video I have ever done of a live trade, I always tell you the date. Why? Because you can go back 5 years from that time, 10 years from the time that you saw the video that I posted, and you can go to your own personal charts and verify whether that trade or price action actually happened or not. But if all I'm showing you is my FX book, I could be getting signals from somebody else, placing the trades, and then showing you guys that I'm profitable, and then you believe me. See, be very careful of that stuff, okay? All right, now let me get back on course. Sorry about that. I went to the wrong side. Let me get back. So let's talk about this final one. What about a swing trader? Me, I love swing trading. I love swing trading. In fact, a lot of the videos that I've done recently, you'll notice, and I'm not trying to showboat or anything else, you'll notice that I'm doing videos in different locations now. Why? Because as a swing trader, I can actually take a trade, and some of these trades, and some of you guys can verify this, you can look on your own trade at that. And I'm gonna give you guys a hot tip. Here's a hot tip. Oh, this is a good one. Oh, here's a bonus. Here's a bonus. Go back through some of the trades that you would have taken, even if you were using like the market maker's method or something like that off the 1 hour, 4 hour, whatever, okay? Because you can do it off of that time frame too. Level 1, level 2, level 3, M's and W patterns. And that happens not only on the 15-minute time frame, but it also happens on higher time frames as well. So take a look at this, whatever strategy you're using, and take a look at the trended ones, the ones that trended well. Watch this, hit Control Y on your computer keyboard. And it's going to bring up what's called your day separators. Hear me good. I'm giving you a free tip. Hit Control Y on your charts. Okay? Hit Control Y. And it's going to bring up vertical lines called your day separators. And do it on the 1 hour time frame. That will be a great way to see it, 30-minute or 1 hour time frame. And what you're going to see is that certain pairs, if you would have called it at the right time, okay? If you would have called it at the right time, such as we won 2 trades off of Swiss JPY, okay? We called it at the right time. So if you go to your 1 hour time frame or whatever, you'll begin to see at where we called it at the top of the hill, and it began to drop down consistently for several days at a time. You look at Euro JPY. I'm firing off ones you can check for yourself. Euro JPY would be another good example. And you'll see it peaked out, and then it's constantly started dropping. What I want you to do with your day separators up, I want you to count how many days it was falling, okay? How many days? Because see, now when you're looking from a higher perspective, you can actually see how many days it was cascading down. So had you just held on to it for a little while, you didn't have to jump in and out playing double dutch to catch your pips. You could have just took the trade at a nice entry point and then let it fall for several days at a time, meaning that you didn't have to trade every single day. That is part of the reason why you see me at different locations. I'm not trying to showboat, but I have no need to be stuck in one location staring at my charts, because certain trades that I take, it's going to take several days for them to play out. But guess what? If I still walk away at the end of the week with 50 pips, 75 pips, 100 pips on one trade, isn't that equivalent? Let's do the numbers, okay? Let's do some numbers. If I walked away with a trade that produced, let's say 5 days a week, 50 pips, okay? Isn't that equivalent to taking one scalping trade a day at 10 pips? So instead of taking 5 trades every single day, I took one trade and still got the same number of pips. If that trade plays out and gives me 100 pips, that means day traders, I also made my 20 pips a day on one trade. But I didn't have to be there every day trading. I just took one trade, held it all week long, and walked away with 100 pips. That's equivalent to a person who traded 5 trades times 20 pips a day. It's still the same thing. So it doesn't matter to me. That's why I said I'm not against any one of these styles. You just got to find what floats your boat, which one is good for you. Now, the problem here's the drawback on being a scalper. I'm sorry, not a scalper, but a swing trader. It requires you to have patience. Okay? That's the key. And not everybody, remember, here's the biggest conflict when it comes to trading. Most people have a scalper's mentality. And because of that scalper's mentality, it's affecting any other way that they trade, because they're expecting results within minutes. Now, logically, left brain, logically, they know I shouldn't be expecting that, but emotionally, they're still attached to the scalper's emotions, such as be in and be out really, really quick. And because of that, it's created the conflict in their head to where they cannot hold a trade patiently and go on do other things. I personally think that if you're a flight attendant, truck driver, or somebody like that, where you're always on the road away from charts, I personally think that being a swing trader is the ultimate blessing for you. Okay, because it gives you the ability to get into some trades, but to also walk away and do your other thing without actually having to stare at charts all the time. The problem is that if you have a scalper's mentality, you're going to interfere with the trade. You're still trying to put tight stop losses when you should be putting more cushiony stop losses because you're trading on higher time frames. Do you get what I'm saying? So unless you adjust your thinking process to match the style, it's not going to work. And that is one of the biggest obstacles I see in the Forex market today. People have conflicting ideas. Logically, they know what they should do, but emotionally, they're still stuck to the scalper's mentality. So they're still using 10 pip stop loss, 15 pip stop loss, as opposed to, okay, if you're going to be on a higher time frame, it's natural for it to ebb and flow. For an example, I was teaching my students this, and I said, where's the conflict coming from? Because what create higher highs and higher lows? It's the swings, and then it drops, and it pulls back, and it drops, and it pulls back, and it drops. Pull back on the upswing, it goes up and pull back, goes up and pull back. What I taught them last week was the upside down Christmas tree. The upside down Christmas tree, in my opinion, is, and there's a image that you can get on YouTube. I'm sorry, yeah, on Google, and just look for an upside down Christmas tree, and you'll see that it almost matches the way the market direction works. Because when it's upside down and it's going up on the left hand side, you'll see it goes up and then pulls back, goes up, pulls back, goes up, pull back, and then it peaks out and reverses. Now, when on the flip side, when it's going down, it goes up and drop, goes up and drop. See, it goes the opposite direction. So these higher highs and higher swing lows, those are natural when you're holding in a swing trade. So when it pulls back on people, oh my God, I'm in drawdown. That's natural. Wait for it to finish, and then it drops to the next level. It drops to the next level. See, everybody likes to drop, but they don't have the emotional fortitude when it's doing the pullbacks. But you should. You got to get comfortable with that. So again, this is why they use such tight stop losses, because they're afraid of drawdown. But if long as you're managing your money with using a typical 2% risk, what difference does it make? Listen, I told my students, I said, if you had a $100 account and you used a 50 pip, watch this, you use a 0.01 lot size, and you used a 50 pip, do the math, use a 50 pip stop loss. Do you know you're only risking $5 on a $100 account? So why are you pissing in your pants? See, it doesn't matter. Why are you tripping? Relax. If you used a 100 pip stop loss with a 0.01, a 100 pip stop loss, you still only down $10 if you lost. You still have 90% of your account left. Why are you tripping? Yes, that's more than the average. That's more than the 2%, but that's okay. Even if that 10%, that's still not. You still got 9 chances to win. So why be so uncomfortable? So you have to fix your framework of thinking. So for me, I like to place my trades some that I know for sure. Okay, I went to the higher time frame, meaning the 4-hour or daily, got a comprehension of what direction the market is trying to go in, whether it's a reversal pattern or whether it's a trend pattern. I get comfortable with that. Then I'll drop down to the 15-minute or 30-minute time frame, or even a 1 hour. We have a strategy in our group called the D1. It doesn't matter. The point is, I jump down to a lower time frame, hop in the trade, and then I'm done. Time for me to head out. So that's why you see me on vacation or in different locations all the time, because I have no need to sit there staring at the charts. It's not going to make it speed up any faster. And by the time the end of the week happens, I'm good to go. Okay. So I hope that this kind of helped you guys. I hope. Now, one more piece on this and I'm done. What is my ultimate opinion of between being a scalper, day trader, and swing trader? It wouldn't hurt to know all three. And I'm going to give you an example why. Over this last month, now the markets are starting to settle back down, things are starting to get back in rhythm, but anybody who traded over this last month, and type of amen in the chat for those who's here now. I know thousands are watching later, but y'all here, type of chat if you type of amen in the chat if you agree with this statement I'm about to say. The markets have been tripping over the last several weeks. Why? Because all of a sudden, the Evergrande situation, which affected the JPY and shot that thing through the moon, okay? Way past its boundary lines, okay? Then you had CAD that came out. Why did CAD just act a fool all of a sudden? Because the OPEC news came out saying that, no, we're not going to increase production. We're just going to raise the prices, which is why y'all see higher gas prices, right? That happened. Then you had the U.S. who was tripping. They had the debt ceiling issue. Then they had to vote on this multi-trillion-dollar bill. And then they were tripping. And then there was more news and more news. And then the effect of the housing crash looming over. So all of this news hit the market all at one time, and the market was just acting a plum duck fool. Type amen if y'all experienced that too, okay? Wasn't just me. Wasn't just me. So at that point, would it have been difficult to be a swing trader or even a day trader? You're absolutely right. It would have been tough to accomplish your regular goal because the markets were just jittery all over the place. Truth be told, it would have affected you as a scalper. Now, you would have got away with getting in and getting out really, really quick as long as you had your timing down pat as a scalper. So if anything, it would have been good to be a scalper at the time. Get in, get out, move on. As long as your timing was right, okay? When you came to being a day trader and a swing trader, it became difficult because the markets themselves had just got hit with all this news, and so they were unstable and they were just shooting all over the place. So it was hard to calculate the normal rhythm of the market. So for all my price action people who always fight me, price action is king, that's cool, but how can you explain what happened to your portfolio if all you needed was price action? It was not only price action, it was fundamental news. All this news hit the market at one time, and it scared the socks off of the market, not only in Forex, but also the crypto market dropped. As you can clearly see, it dropped from its highs. Why? Because Biden signed a tax bill into law. See, that's fundamental. So all these different news events hit the market and it shook it up. Now the market is starting to get back in rhythm, and I'm starting like last week. Again, we had a fantabulous week in the Signals group. So I think the market is starting to absorb all that news and be able to get itself back on some form of normality. So what could have been a healthy way of trading? Scalping would have been a great time during that rocky period because you're only in and out as long as you did it on a professional level. Get your little quick pips and dip out. Get your quick pips, dip out. So again, if you have the ability to do each one, that's even better. But what do I still suggest for those starting out or those who've been in the markets for a long time and you're struggling? I still would say if I had to start all over again, I would actually start, first of all, as a day trader so I can learn the rhythm of the markets, get me some pips, feel good about hold times. That's the key. Feel good about holding it longer than a scalper. And then I would have moved into being a swing trader. Now, if you're a person who just likes to get in and out, then I suggest be a scalper. There is nothing wrong with any one of these strategies. I don't put down or uplift the one or the other. It really has to do with your mentality and personality. Okay, so please write this down in conclusion. Search your personality and mentality. Okay? Because that is what's affecting the way you're going to trade. It really is. Miss Jenny is an absolute genius when it comes to trading as a scalper. A genius. I've never seen anybody better than her. And again, I have no qualms in admitting that. She will spank my pants. If we had a scalping competition, she will whoop the pants off of me all day long. I give her credit. I give people credit where credit is due. But outside of her and very few others who I know in this industry, the majority of the people who come in, they're coming in trying to be that person, but they're not good at it. That is why statistically, look up your own statistics, do it yourself, do your own homework. That's statistically why so many Forex traders are losing. They're not good at that because it's such a fast pace. You have to calculate, you have to be on your toes, and they're not being trained professionally, okay? Okay, so I'm just telling you the truth. I would say if you're going to tune into this and watch this later on and you say, okay, I was thinking about Forex and I just wanted to know what's the best way to start as a day trader. It gives you the ability to hold the trades just long enough, just a day or two, and then you get your money and you're out. So it's satisfying not holding the trade long, but not too long, okay? Eventually, most professional, and I'll leave you with this, do what you want with the information. Most professional Forex traders in the business world, think about it, and you've got to tell yourself the truth. Because people like to debate and argue with me, call me and say, well, okay, that's fine, no problem. But the facts are the facts. If I was sitting in a room full of institutional traders, And I want you guys who's here, we have a few people here, I want you to comment, please. I'm going to ask this question. I've been asking it for the longest, and nobody has negated me as being wrong. If I was sitting in a room and doing the same presentation with a group full of professional institutional traders, are they scalpers, are they day traders, or are they swing traders? What do you guys say? And I'm gonna wait for these comments because people are gonna see y'all's comments later on. Please tell me, which one are they? The institutional traders, not retail traders like you and I. We're just retail traders. They call us retail traders, but the professional institutional traders. Okay, look, okay, Jake, thank you. Jake got his answer in. Who else? Anybody else? I want y'all to answer this because you'll begin to see why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's far less stressful. I don't have to worry so much. So I typically dip in between these two. But I just want you guys to compare, because you always have these techniques, oh, beat the market makers. And I've been saying for the longest, it's hard for you to beat them if you don't understand their game. Thank you. Forex for life, thank you. Anybody else? I'm just waiting for these comments. I'm just waiting. I just want y'all to admit to yourself. You don't have to debate with me. Just admit to yourself, what do banks and institutions do? How do they trade? Now, let me be honest. While we're waiting on the other comments to come in, here's the truth. They trade long-term on certain portfolios, but you do have some institutions. There you go. Thank you, Joshua. Yes, that's he. Boy, how you thinking up in my head? He says swing traders so they can murder the. Oh my God, he said it. Oh, where did the comment go? Where did his comment go? Swing traders so they can murder the scalpers. Boy, you all up in my head. You didn't let me finish what I was gonna say. Thank you, Derek. He said he loves simplicity trading. So here's the deal. What they do is they will mess with the markets to interfere with lower time frame traders, but in their personal portfolio, their overall portfolio, they're trading off the daily time frames, weekly time frames, and sometimes monthly time frames. Okay, so therefore they automatically are swing traders or long-term holders. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you're trying to beat the market maker, you can't beat them at a game that they're not playing. It's kind of like you saying, okay, I'm gonna beat you in basketball, but you got a baseball in your hand. Two different ball games. They both have a ball involved, but they're two different things. They're two different mindsets altogether. So they will interfere and spike the markets on the lower time frame, but they're playing their game on the higher time frame. This is why you see rich people on yachts and doing their thing, even during the trade. Do you get what I'm saying? So I've learned to just, if I don't need to beat them, I just got to figure out what they're doing. And so that's the reason why I transitioned over to being more of a day trader and a swing trader. Okay, same thing. Let me leave you with an example. Could you imagine when people were thinking that Bitcoin was extremely high at 9,000? And even with this pullback, which I think is going to now stop based on my charting, I could be wrong, but if it holds at certain levels that I'm seeing, it will bounce back up from this I think it's now 10% or whatever percent this correction is. But basically, even at it being at 50, last I think it was at 58, 59,000. Some of you guys can correct me at the time of this video. But I think it's at 58, 59,000. It was all-time high was 66 or 67,000 or something like that, somewhere up there, 68,000. But it did a pullback all the way to 58. I think it's sitting at right now as we speak. The bottom line is this. What if you would have gotten in when it was at $9,000 a coin? So even this little correction means nothing to you. So you see the benefit of me getting in at 9,000 with some of my coins. I got in at 9,000 on Bitcoin, and now it's still at this 50 some. Do you think I'm tripping? So do you see the benefit of having held something for a little while as an investor trader? Okay, as an investor, it's different from being a day trader or a scalper. So I think it's beneficial to do both. Do both. But which one should you do first? Start with being a day trader. Become a professional at one thing before you move over to another. Okay, so start with being a day trader. Learn how to use my 2 method, and I put out a video. Go back and look at it, and it doesn't take long to figure it out. Get your story from the higher time frame, enter in on the lower time frame, get your pips, and then you're good to go. And once you get that rhythm down pat, and you're comfortable with that, then you can migrate over to the professional level. Professional traders, all professional traders outside of Ms. Jenny, who's a professional scalper that I know of, and there's one other guy, I do know one other guy who's a scalper, and he's a freaking beast. But outside of that, I really don't know a lot of scalpers who, and I'm just talking about me, so please don't blow me up. Hey, you did, I don't know you, okay? So I'm not trying to put down, I'm just saying majority of the people who come in, and just do your own math, think about it. How many professional scalpers do you know personally, that you know personally, who's been trading as a scalper, who has had a long-term career? How many do you personally know that you're willing to say, I'm willing to learn from them? And if you come up with the same conclusion that there's not many, then you now understand the numbers as to why 85 to 90% of all Forex traders fail, because they all come in the same doorway of being a scalper without the professional knowledge. Meanwhile, you have a whole operation over here of being a day trader or swing trader where there's much more success if you're going to do it on your own over here, and hardly anybody wants to walk through those doors. Why? Because they're looking at the Lamborghini videos, they're looking at all these people making these thousands of dollars in minutes, which it can happen, it's true, but it doesn't happen for everybody. So the lure of the quick profits is drawing a lot of people in, but it's not keeping them in because they're not doing it the same way. And they're refusing to get mentored. So therefore, they're getting sucked in through one door. Meanwhile, these two other doors are available for them, which will increase their winning percentage, and they don't want it. And there you go. So that's my summation. Done with this video. If you guys have other questions, I'm back. I'm loving to do the videos again. Please just send me an email and I'll do a video for you on whatever topic you're looking for. I love doing these kind of videos to kind of help people out on your journey and just give them, and this, again, I'm not their financial advisor. I'm just giving you guys heads up on my perspective of what I see. Okay? See you guys. Hope you have a blessed trading week. And again, this Friday, don't forget, this Friday, we're having a Black Friday sale. Okay, so be on the lookout for that, because we're going to discount some prices to help you guys get in, especially on the Simplicity system, because a lot of you guys, you really need mentorship. Okay, so all you have to do on Black Friday, when we have the Black Friday special, just buy the Simplicity system. The classes are free. I don't charge for them. It's really because when I'm doing the live classes, you'll be able to go to the charts using the same trading system that we use to be able to see the same thing. And I know there's a whole bunch of little fake gurus out there who say they can do it, or they're trying to sell you a knockoff one of our systems. Don't buy their crap, because again, it's not ours. Number two, it won't come with my live free classes every week. And the other problem is that when you download their stuff, they actually have spiked it with viruses and malware. How do I know? Because I'm currently working with the FBI, and we're going to be cracking down on a lot of these companies that's out there. You may see them disappear eventually. Okay. So again, get the authentic system, just buy the system. And by the way, one last thing, what we are doing with the money, and we just had a huge town meeting with my accountant talking about Forex and taxes. And he confirmed that when you guys make purchases, we actually donate that money out. He confirmed that we've given away thousands of dollars. Well, how do we do that? We generate money through our sales, and we donate it to unfortunate organizations such as Doctors Without Borders, World Food Program, ASPCA. I don't even own a pet. Shriners Hospital, but we just try to provide our own way of giving back to the communities that we have vetted out, and we know they're legitimate. Invisible people up in LA for homeless people, and so forth. And there's dozens of them that we donate to every year through you guys. So thank you guys for your purchases of getting the authentic software from us. And again, if you get the Simplicity system, it's going to come with my live free classes every single week. Hey, Algeria in the house. Nice to meet you guys. So again, the deal is that you're supporting these organizations through our purchases. And again, my accountant was on that meeting where everybody was on, and he confirmed it so that everybody know, okay, Uncle P is legit. I'm not trying to steal nobody's money, but again, this is what we do. All right, we will be our own blessing to the nations. All right. Anyway, enjoy your week. Let it be profitable. Bye.